Hello and welcome everyone to Pandora's Tarot. These are the readings for the month of August. And as I always say, remember to check not only your sun sign but also your rising and your moon sign, especially the moon sign for women and for those who were born during the night. It can be really powerful, and all three aspects conform, the energies that could manifest in each and every one of us in our lives, right? So please remember to check the three videos. If you can't, do check at least your rising sign, okay? Because that would be one of the most important. And as I always say, if you would like to contact me for a private reading, you can do so at pandorastarot@gmail.com. You can find the address in the description box below this video, so you can just copy paste from there. And of course, thank you for spending your time with me. Thank you for subscribing, for liking, for sharing, for commenting. I love the community that has formed around these videos. So thank you again, and let's move on to the readings. Hello Gemini, welcome back. Let's dive into your reading right away. We have in the challenge position the Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune talks about events and situations that happen in our life without our control over them, okay? It does talk about destiny. It does talk about things that happen without our control, okay? It does talk about, in a way, things that, for those of you who believe in reincarnation, things that we agreed to experience upon our reincarnation, okay? And it does feel like this is the month where you're going to really learn one of those lessons. It's a good thing that comes up in the upright position. It does mean that eventually, fortune is on your side, of course. But keep in mind, because it might not be such a good thing what happens here in the middle, that it is destined to happen, okay? It had to happen because you need to learn something from this so you can grow from it and put this lesson behind you and move on, okay? We have in the center of the reading Five of Wands. Five of Wands is a card that has come up quite a few times throughout this readings. So it does look like the month of August will be a month where we're going to revisit and review and reevaluate our relationships. But in the case of the Five of Wands, this is a card that talks about a group of people that it's very hard for them to work together as a team, because there's a lot of ego involved in this. This is a group of people who are not so much with building something together, with creating something together. They're more focusing on the recognition they can get individually, okay? So when we have a lot of ego involved and not enough creation and love for the creation, then it's a lot of fighting, basically. This is not a group of people who is invested into creating something that is a good thing for humanity, let's put it that way. And why do I keep saying creating? Because it's the Wands is the element of fire, and fire is creation, okay? So whatever it is, even if it is within an artistic environment, or maybe it's something within your family, or maybe it's within your job or career that has nothing to do with something artistic. You are, as a family, you create relationships, you bond, and that is something you have to work upon and work every single day on that. It is a form of co-creation in a way. And this group of people doesn't work together well because, like I said before, it's just too much ego, and it can even, when the Wands are reversed, it could even be something violent, okay? Because fire and passion can turn into violence like that. So keep in mind what I said with this Wheel of Fortune. Whatever is going on is meant to happen, okay? Now, what the Tarot is saying in the position of what you have to accept is that you need to make a decision. You need to make up your mind. And it does feel like you are stuck, Gemini. You are at a crossroads. The Two of Swords represents someone who can make up his mind or her mind, because
his mind, her mind actually, is a woman in the card, is telling her to do something represented by the swords, and the water and the moon behind her are telling her to do something else. That's her emotions and her intuition. So everything is crossed, it's like this. So what you need to do is to stop avoiding the fact that you need to make a decision in relationship to this situation, okay, with this group of people. You can't delay this or keep delaying this. You can't keep pushing it ahead and say, oh, I'm gonna deal with this later, or now it doesn't look so bad, or you are gonna have to deal with it this month, okay? And excuse me, why do I say this month? Not only because of this Two of Swords, but also because something that has been going on throughout the readings is that a card that is not so good shows up in the position of the help you're going to receive. It's almost like a bad thing happens in your life so you can actually get something good out of it, okay? But without the bad happening, we wouldn't be able to move, or we wouldn't move because we fear change usually, And in your case, the card that shows up in the help you're going to receive is the Seven of Swords, and this is a card that represents theft, okay? This is someone stealing from you, or at least having a dishonest attitude towards you. This is someone who's taking what does not belong to him, okay? Usually I see this not as stealing of property, of objects, but actually it could be more like recognition, ideas, perhaps someone stealing your capacity to trust, and it does work in this group dynamic where everyone is me, there's a lot of ego here. So the stealing of ideas, of recognition, or something like that could really happen. And this is something that comes up to the light. This is something you find out, okay? And it is of help to you, because then you will be able to take action upon this situation. So we have in the final cards the Queen of Cups. This is someone who could belong to the water signs. So Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. This is a very receptive type of person, very maternal. Whether it's a man or a woman, it's very maternal. And this person is also very intuitive. She's much, could even be kind of psychic. She's very connected with her inner guidance. And this is someone who's going to help you to find out this truth, because she comes up right next to the Moon card. So the Moon also represents the sign of Cancer, so it could be this is a person of the sign of Cancer. And the Moon represents hidden truths that come out to the open, okay? This dishonest attitude of the Seven of Swords comes out. It could even be that it comes out at the end of the month of August, okay? It might even be that you start to get a little bit suspicious, and then you get the help of this person, this Cancer person, that allows you to actually find out the truth. So we have the Moon, and the Moon advises against false hope or false illusions, of believing the first reality that someone presents to us. This is a card that the Moon talks about like a fog or a mist, where we think we're seeing everything around us, but in reality we're not actually seeing them with the definition that is required, or with it's not clear, okay? So when the Moon shows up, eventually, we have this Moon that turns into a sun. So eventually what the Moon can't shed a light on, the sun will. And that's when the darkness, that's when the mist, the fog dissipates, okay? So eventually you will be able to see the actions of this person, okay? And I think you will be able to understand how toxic the dynamic of this group actually is. And that will allow you to make a decision, to really make a decision. But keep in mind, this is a stage in your life that you have to go through this. You have to learn this lesson. And I think the first card that shows up is the Wheel of Fortune, because it's a way for the tarot to say, you know what, you keep pushing this forward and keep pushing this forward, and the reality is that sooner or later you're gonna have to experience it. So if you keep pushing forward, you make it worse. So deal with it now. It's best if you do, Gemini. So I hope this is helpful. Thank you for spending your time with me. I'll see you next month. Take care.